And welcome back, everybody, to the channel. It is episode 2 of my new Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. And today, we have some very big decisions to make. First and foremost, though, for those of you that checked out the first episode, whether or not it's because you took the bait with me changing the logo, I had to. I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry at all. Whether or not it's because you checked it out to yell at me, which is fine, or if you enjoyed it, which most of you did, thank you very much for that. Again, it is going to be good to be back here consistently on this channel. I missed this, I've kept up with streaming, but YouTube kind of slipped up over the last little bit, but we're back, damn it, as evidenced by another video that will be going up today as well, so check that out if you haven't. I don't know if this one's going up first, and if it is, hey, check it out a little bit later on. So yeah, there's that. With that, though, yeah, we did not win the draft lottery, so Connor Bedard will not be coming to Chicago. I got a cough I'm dealing with still. But we will still have some big decisions to make, the idea of, okay, what's going to happen with Jonathan Toews? Are we going to try to bring back Patrick Kane? In terms of retirements, well, there is no effect on anything for season 1. So there is that. And we will actually go to view draft class for a moment because Adam Fantilli or Matvei Michkov, that is going to be the question. I know a lot of people are looking at Aiden McMuffin, one of the generated guys, but we'll probably end up taking someone like Fantilli. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that I did, but I want to make sure that computer trading is back on. It would be unfortunate to have that be off. Okay, good. It is back on. What we're going to do, I'm actually going to put the sim scoring and the shot frequency down to low for this season. I just want to see what happens. We're going to mess around with that for the first couple of seasons until I kind of see where I want that to be. With that, we'll have a draft coming up here. Connor Bedard will not be ours unless somehow they want to trade that first overall pick, and surprise, surprise, Montreal does not. Now, again, we don't really have set rules for this one. It is going to kind of be like a more straightforward rebuild, but I'm not going to try to cheese anything. Unfortunately, nobody below us wants to trade their pick, and that was really going to kind of be my strategy here was, we could go down as far as 8th overall and still end up with like Zach Benson and maybe a really strong trade package surrounding him. Right now, all we can do is hope that Montreal screws up and takes Adam Fantilli. They will not, but it's what we can hope for. In the meantime, let's take a look at our roster and what we might be able to do. Again, we do have Tampa's first-round pick as well. Obviously, some of the other picks that this team has in real life are not there, but we still have pretty good draft capital to make things happen. Goaltending-wise, again, with Drew Commesso, it wasn't a comment of like, oh, who is this? It was more a comment of, again, the game auto-signs him, so we're going to have to re-sign him this free agency, which kind of sucks. But he and Soderblom are pretty much the guys because I can't imagine we could fetch a trade offer for Peter Mrazek. I can't imagine we'll get an offer for Anton Khudobin. Stalock's deal is up. We should shop him as well, and we get absolutely nothing. So goaltending is not going to be great heading into next season. When we take a look at the defense, Caleb Jones' deal is up. I would like to hold on to him as a third pairing guy. In terms of offers, second round pick, though, isn't too bad. It's really not. Wow, really? Alex Iafallo for Caleb Jones. That just has to be Los Angeles trying to clear out cap space. A second round pick and Rem Pitlick. The Rangers trying to get rid of Jacob Trouba's contract. I don't blame them. I won't be taking that, though. Artem Zub is there. Zub might not be a bad option either. I really was thinking of keeping him. Ivan Morozov and Alexiev. Damn. Morozov, Alexiev, and Alex Iafallo. What's going on with the LA Kings to where they want to get rid of him? Because that would be a huge upgrade for us. I mean, 83 overall, elite defensive forward. Absolutely elite defensive forward for $4 million. We might have to take that deal. But with that, we are about to get an answer with Montreal and what they're going to do with the number 1 overall pick. And you know what? Hey, we waited this long. Let's not wait any longer. The answer is Connor Bedard. Yeah, that's No surprise. He does have abilities. Again, the draft screen's fucking stupid, but he does very much have a full house of abilities. So with that, we're not going to look at trading the second overall pick, or are we? We should at least still explore it. What could we get for the second overall? But nothing. Okay, we're gonna use this draft pick. We're gonna use this, and it is either Adam Fantilli or Matvei Michkov. And obviously, I already know who the superior player to take is. It is Fantilli in terms of overall. Michkov keeps the high elite, but is a lower overall to kind of replicate the fact that he likely will not be coming over from Russia for longer, compared to Fantilli being in the NCAA already. So we are going to take Adam Fantilli with the second overall pick, the 73 overall high elite, and maybe, just maybe, he will be our new Jonathan Toews. Maybe he'll be a little bit more brave and not defend scumbag GMs. Lucky for him, Fantilli doesn't have a scumbag GM now, so that's good. Yeah, Adam Fantilli, he is very much our guy. And yeah, again, full boat of abilities, kind of base level for the core stats, but again, he will get there in due time. While all these other trades are going on, and there you see Fantilli's value to us already, for the record, with the Habs, yeah. Bedard, Caulfield, they got Suzuki, Doc, Slavkovsky. The Habs are going to be absolutely gross throughout this franchise mode. We still need to explore the Caleb Jones deal, but actually, now that I think about it, who's on the trade block for some of these teams?
A few moments later.
We'll sim ahead to pick number 30. Let's double check how the first round has gone, as McMuffin was a 79 medium elite. You had Chung, Leo Carlson, of course, is real. Yeah, now we're getting into the real players. Zach Benson goes before Braden Yeager, but of course, overall and potential a bit different. You got Will Smith to Montreal. You got Dvorsky, Edward Sale, Scavello, who is generated, so that's a gigantic steal for the Rangers. Jesus. And again, if you're like, this guy's not projected to go this high, of course, draft rankings change throughout the year, so we continue to adjust that with future updates. Sandine Pellet. The Leafs get rid of one Sandine and pick up another. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Way to go. And we have the next pick at pick number 30. So let's call a timeout, and we are going to make a move. It's just a matter of who the hell we're going with here.
A few moments later.
All right, so an hour later, almost, I think I finally have the deal down that I would like to get. Simmed ahead, see what we had. It looks like the Maverick Bork deal is going to be our best option. There are a lot of prospects that we could have gotten, but again, I was looking at teams and who it made sense to pick up. There were just a lot of players out there, but in terms of the best deal for us, we are going to move on from Taylor Radish, along with these 2 third-round picks, one this year and one next, for Maverick Bork. Makes a lot of sense for Dallas to want to move on from Bork based off of who they have in the system. They have a need for somebody cheap like Taylor Radish there. So we're going to pull the trigger on this trade and welcome Maverick Bork to Chicago. That said, I am going to take another look at the ridiculous amount of players that are out there and see if any other deals still make sense for us. And actually, I might be able to speed run that really quickly. And if not, I'll make another jump cut.
A few moments later.
So we are going to be making another trade here. And because for me, this is a no-brainer. After moving on from Taylor Radish, there's this offer here to take Alex Iafallo away from the LA Kings. And given that he's on their trade block, if we don't do this, somebody else will. We have the cap space for him. And why not? For a 4th and a 3rd round pick, take someone who's going to be a very strong roster player for us for the next couple of seasons while we build back up. And for the Kings, it does make a good amount of sense to try to clear out cap space based off of who they already have and the ridiculous amount of young talent that they have. So for a 4th this year and a 3rd next year from Ottawa, we are going to acquire Alex Iafallo from the Los Angeles Kings as we continue to wheel and deal. Believe it or not, I believe we have found another interesting trade that's worth it for us. Tyler Johnson, a 3rd and a 5th to Pittsburgh for P.O. Joseph. And it does kind of follow along with what Pittsburgh has been doing IRL. Joseph's kind of the odd man out. I mean, you see who they have on defense. Ty Smith just made a bunch of improvements. They do have to re-sign Dumoulin, but presumably they signed Smith as an RFA. They still have Ruda. Joseph at best is 6th, 7th guy, but Ruedel and Friedman, are there as well. Whereas taking on Tyler Johnson, they have room on that right-hand side. Left wing side, Zucker, Heinen, Kajula, their deals are up. Down the middle, there's not a ton of space, but obviously they have other dudes here that can play the right wing side, and Bonino's deal is up. So I do think it makes a lot of sense. To avoid having to sign a cap whale, because that is what we're going to have to do, I am going to sweeten this a little bit for Pittsburgh and just retain 50% out of the kindness of my heart. And we will acquire P.O. Joseph from the Pittsburgh Penguins. So a little bit of retention there, mainly to keep cap on the books for ourselves. All right, so I think I'm back to finally join you in full here. We have 2 minutes left on our timer, and we're going to use our final timeout. I have been doing so much research in terms of what we want to do trade-wise after the deals we've already made. And to kind of showcase you the final few options that we have, Minnesota, we could get a decent deal for Adam Beckman. That particular trade would involve the likes of Jason Dickinson or Colin Blackwell if the Wild were to need either of them. However, down the middle, Minnesota's pretty deep, especially with Marco Rossi on the way up. So I can't imagine we will really need to do anything. I mean, even Beckman, being on the wing, I mean, they have Connor Dewar, and I showed here first because of the amount of people that they have on the wing, or at center that can play on the wing. Easy for me to say. And of course on the other side as well. So I really don't think it makes sense to kind of still overload Minnesota's forward core. From a different perspective, we could go back to the LA Kings and take Trevor Moore off of their hands as well for relatively cheap. It would be Blackwell or Dickinson and a 5th round pick. And again, we kind of know what they're looking to do in terms of going with some other options. But as it is, no matter what, whether or not it's Trevor Moore that's there or anybody else, there's going to be a bit of a log jam of talents. And in this instance, that right wing side was pretty jammed, but we opened up space for someone like Chromiak to step in, or Grunstrom or Fogamo. It doesn't necessarily make too much sense to take Trevor Moore and have just a weaker player kind of fit in. So we are going to avoid taking Trevor Moore. From the defensive standpoint, then, there's the Vegas Golden Knights and defender Lucas Cormier, who could be acquired. Same thing for Dickinson or for Blackwell. And when we look at Vegas down the middle, yeah, there's just no room whatsoever. And I mean, you look at their forwards in general, and I mean, outside of Barbashev's deal coming due, Bluger, I mean, Kessel's deal is up, but they have Brendan Brisson right there. I think, again, we'd just be adding to the logjam that they already have to deal with. So with that, everybody, a whole lot of research has concluded. As you can tell, our timeouts are done, but I think we are good to go with the moves that we have made. So let's go ahead and finally look at the 30th overall pick. Although that said, it might be worth just taking a look to see what we could get in shopping it, and the answer is nothing. But yeah, you can tell the cupboard has been emptied in terms of the amount of picks now that we have in this draft. But I do think we are a better team for those moves. So Ryan Leonard's available, Jaden Perron, Gavin Brindley, Dmitry Simashev. Why do I feel like, was he one of the more highly touted defenders? I mean, he is a medium 4. Kasper Halttunen for EFCO. Otto Stenberg, Cohen Zimmer. I mean, I'm not sure it matters at this point who we go for. It's more so, hey, who do we like? Name value, what do we want to do? A defender wouldn't be the worst way to go, though, right? I mean, we only have 2 minutes left, so I got to kind of make this fast. But in taking a look, I mean, we do have Jones, obviously, but prospect-wise, it's Korchinski, Allen, Del Mastro, Renzel. Honestly, that's not that bad. Maybe that bit of extra forward depth's actually the way to go. I might even just let the AI make this pick because it doesn't make too much of a difference to me. But we did get a center, so perhaps a winger is the better way to go. Tempted to take Haltonen just because, again, I went to an EFCO game when I was over there. 3 years out. What do we have? Some of these guys we just don't know. 3 years out. It's going to be 3 years out for pretty much all of them, I would imagine. I mean, I do love me a Milan Lucic comparison. I also love me a Guy Lafleur mention or comparison. Jesus. Let's do it. We're going to go for Kasper Haltonen. He is our guy here in this draft. 65 overall, medium top six. Again, a lot of these guys are going to be very, very similar in rating. As we'll take a look at the end of the round. Leonard, Brindley. I mean, yeah, it almost just comes down to player type. And obviously, we are right back on the board now. Pick number 33. So we have a center winger. Now I think we take a definite winger, although Otto Stenberg would be great because that way we'd have a center right wing, and a center left wing. And that would give us some tremendous depth. I am going to try to play people within their natural position. So Cohen Zemmer, certainly not a bad. Ooh, is that 1 year accurate? Has he slipped down the board for some reason? Matthew Cataford's listed at only 2 years away. What's Stenberg at? 3 years. Maybe we screwed up here. Okay, there's no way Pedal's NHL ready. 2 years out for Luca Pinelli. Soto, unconfirmed 3. Morin's 3. Bonk is 3. Rekhop, nearly 2. Whitelaw, we don't know enough about. 3 years out there. Rostowitz, we don't know enough about. Turigny. Well, I can't guarantee it. Confirmed 2 years out for Cataford or for Pinelli. I'd go for Cataford over Pinelli just for the sole purpose of a right wing. It's either going to be Cohen Zemmer or Matthew Cataford. And I think we're going to go for Zemmer. I think we are. I think. That tease of a 1 year out. I don't remember what I set him to. So yeah, Cohen Zemmer is going to be the guy. I thought Otto Stenberg would have been a great pick for dual position. I'm going to go with Otto Stenberg. I'm going to trust my gut on this. Those dual positions are valuable for us. Let's see how bad of a mistake that is as we will sim to our next pick later on in round number 2. Did we make a mistake? I mean, Perron's a couple points higher. Yeah, Ooh, okay. So Zemmer and Cataford are both higher ratings, but they're high 9s. Okay. I think we're still good with Stenberg then for dual position. But I don't know. Maybe we did make a mistake. Cohen Zemmer. Keep an eye out on him and some of these other high 9s and high top 6s and stuff like that once you get into the second round. So we have another pick here in round 2. Last thing I want to check, though, because we didn't really properly kind of go through, like, hey, can we piece people away? Jason Dickinson. We know a lot of people are interested. 5th and a 6th, a 4th and Blake Coleman. I mean, at that point, we might as well just keep Dickinson. If the best we can get is a 5th and a 6th, keep him for later. I imagine it'll be the same story for Colin Blackwell. And yeah, I mean, again, outside of taking Blake Coleman's contract, that is pretty much the case. On the wing, we know Athanasiou's contract is up. No offers for him. What about Jujarkera? No offers for him. Anders Bjork. No offers for him. On the right, there's nothing of value. Well, hey, I kind of talked about trading pieces away. LOL, what pieces? So, second round pick here. Later on in the round, that is Jesse Nurmi is available. Another EFCO guy, Tuomas Urinen. Not bad. Quentin Burns, nice cut. Art Tokarski, Theo Lindstein, Jakub Dvorak, Golson Petra, Connor Levis. I mean, again, for the most part, it's all real guys that we make a little bit more valuable. But there is a player that's fallen to round 2 that's computer generated named David Zanetti. And we have no choice but to take him because if we don't, somebody else will. So as much as I'd like to take Tuomas Urinen, yeah, we're going to be taking Zanetti. No doubt. Anderson's 3 years out. Are there any other kind of random generated guys? Nope. Okay. Well, that made the decision easy. David Zanetti is the pick. Good God, how did he fall to this point in the second round? 77 overall, medium top 4, with tape to tape, allegedly. Well, that just drastically changed our outlook on defense. And now we don't have another pick until pick number 193. We'll go ahead to that. It's the first pick of round number 7. And in terms of who's on the board, we could take Arbor Jackie's brother, Florian, which isn't a bad idea, really. Let's see. Janik, who's 18. Yeah, it's not looking too good. I think maybe for the memes, we take Arbor Jackie's brother. I think that's a pretty good fit. So Florian Jackie is the pick for us. And yeah, Florian isn't quite his brother. So that'll do it for our first draft. A little bit weird. We only end up with 5 picks, but we do make quite a few trades. I will go ahead and quickly scroll through the draft board for those of you who are like, oh, hey, I know a lot about the draft. I want to know where this guy went or who my team drafted. We'll quickly scroll through this since there are so many real players, of course. But I don't know. Was it the right choice to kind of get rid of all of those middle round picks to make bigger moves? I personally am happy with that decision, but the argument's out there that maybe it wasn't the right way to go. And I do suppose that time will tell. But that is our first draft in the books. And taking a look at the re-sign phase next, and we might have a little bit more space before we go to free agency. But in terms of goaltenders, Alex Stalock, he is phenomenal, but we are going to let Stalock go. We are going to qualify Drew Commesso. We're going to qualify Soderblom and Drew Commesso. We're also going to let go of Anton Khudobin because why would we not? So we'll figure out goaltending a little bit more depending on free agency. Defensively, P.O. Joseph just almost disappeared. That was really weird how it resorted. We're going to qualify Caleb Jones. We are going to drop Jared Tenorti, Bruins legend. Zanetti's there now, which is amazing. We'll qualify Regula. We'll also keep Ian Mitchell for a little bit longer. Let's hold on to Galvas. We'll let go of Andy Walensky. Of course, came over for the Patrick Kane trade. Andreas Englund, the enforcer. We can let go of him too. We'll keep Krutil on roster. We won't sign Renzel yet. We probably are going to sign Zanetti right out of the gates. Let's be honest. Let's just sign this guy to his ELC. Let's do it. From the forwards, we're going to let go of Joey Anderson probably. Maybe keep him on a minor league deal, actually. Let's qualify him. Buddy Robinson can go. Austin Wagner can go. Hunter Drew can go. Left wing side, Athanasiou wants a pretty similar deal to what he had last time. I mean, 43 points this year. Takes a lot of shots. His shooting percentage was pretty far down. Obviously has really good speed. I'm not opposed to keeping him. But we do have Lucas Reichel, who we're going to want. I mean, really, the top 6, it's probably going to be Reichel, Kurashev, or Kurashev, Reichel, Iafallo. I don't really think we have space for Athanasiou, at least not in his natural position. So we could play him on the right wing side, but let's let go of Andreas Athanasiou. We will qualify Kurashev. Jujar Kara. I do like Jujar, but I think we're going to let go of him for the moment. How much money is he asking for? Yeah, we're going to let go of him for the moment because he'd be a 4th liner. Anders Bjork, former Bruin. He can also go. We got Gavin Hayes, Max Galad. He's on the way out. And then at center, I think we are going to look to hold on to Jonathan Taves. I think we are. We'll go 1 year, $4 million, and we'll pretty much play it year by year for Taves. Luke Philp, Brett Seney, Cam Hillis, this dude here, Sternberg, we'll hold on to you. Sorella, we can let go of you as well. You're not looking that great. So a decent amount of roster turnover. Taves is back. Sternberg signs, Zanetti, and just like that, we don't have too much else to worry about. So yeah, UFAs, we'll let go of these guys. RFAs, most of the team, and we'll kind of wait to see who accepts and who doesn't. As we head to free agency, Ian Mitchell, Joey Anderson, Galvas, Commesso, Krutil. I was actually going to sign Commesso for a little bit longer, but it's okay. It's not a big deal to get those guys on a 1 year deal. So we look at the free agent list, and this will kind of help us dictate where we want to go. Let's start off with RFAs, which does include Timo Meier, of course, for New Jersey, Jesper Bratt. They're going to have a very hard time signing these guys. DeBrinket's out there right now asking for a lot. Even Sprong, Terry. If we just look at forwards, of course, Kurashev's out there. We're still going to have to sign him. But I do think it's worth kind of keeping our eye on the RFA market. I mean, someone like Philip Hedl really isn't asking for that much. Ryan McLeod either, for that matter. Pontus Holmberg's out there for the Leafs. Defensively, I mean, Bowen Byram, Bouchard, but that's big, big money. We could look to get Nick Bedan back in Chicago. We could look to do that. Of course, we still have to sign Regula. And then goaltending-wise, Soderblom. So we got a couple of our own guys to sign. When it comes to UFAs, Jonathan Quick bounced up to an 88. Holy God. From like an 81, a +7 for Jonathan Quick between age 36 and 37. Wow. And now he's looking for $10 million. Korpisalo also massively jumped up in rating. Holy hell. Okay, then. Now, Devin Levi is out there. Gotta be honest. I think we'll try to sign Devin Levi, but send him back to where he belongs because he shouldn't be a free agent. Hunter Jones, Dostal. We could try to do the same thing to send Dostal back to Anaheim. So, not sure what we'll do in terms of goalie projects there. Defenseman, Gostisbehere is the gem of the class. Severson. None of these guys really make too much sense for us based off of their age. In terms of prospects, there are also no major UFA prospects. And for the forwards, Patrice Bergeron's top dog, but there's no way I'm ever letting him wear this jersey. Kaloran, Ryan O'Reilly, a bunch of older dudes who really do not fit the team. Michael Bunting is out there at age 27. In terms of prospects, some of those low elites that honestly we could probably go for it just to see if those guys will develop. However, there's a guy missing, and it's this guy right here, Patrick Kane. And of course, they scrolled past. He's only asking for $4 million. So I think in the next one, we make a deal for a couple of these guys and likely look to bring Patrick Kane back to Chicago.